Levels Network. I'm Justin Horo, joined by the Triple AG, Willie Mason. OG, I was looking at your face. You were looking at me like, what are you looking at? But I thought you had a little bit of fluff on the side of your face. But we are officially... Oh, well, let's give a shout out to St Helens. There's the Wanderers crew over there just in the corner. Hopefully no one gets on the lawnmower like the dramas that they had at Anfield.
One of the idiots got accused of what, terrorism?
Yeah, tell that yarn because it's a giggle. So, Big Pete.
Big Pete, I think he's a Mackay boy, big country boy, absolute legend, but a fucking lunatic. So I think he was at Anfield. So he's a greenkeeper for the Gabba and everything like that. So he went off grid, which you're supposed to stay with the whole touring company.
Which, by the way, let me cut in. We're at St Helens now. They've been to Wigan. Liverpool and Anfield is a different piece.
Yeah,
that's a proper. Like
there's
football.
levels.
There's football and there's football over here.
Yes, exactly, and that's sacred ground to Liverpool people, the curators, the greenkeepers. Anyway, so all he was doing was taking photos of the
field, the
machine, so he can have tips, so he can go home. And then
he was frothing the lawnmower.
Yeah, he was just taking photos of the fucking lawnmower, this weirdo, so he could take it home and show his bosses and stuff like that. And the bloke goes, "What are you fucking doing?" And he goes, "Mate, I'm just taking photos, blah, blah, blah." And then I go... Because then his phone died. And then, I know. And then his phone died, so they're like, "Mate, what are you doing?" And they accuse him of terrorism.
Yeah.
They thought he was going to plant a bomb or something.
They thought it was a terrorist threat because he couldn't account for himself. He didn't know where the rest of the group was. He has been drinking for 2 weeks straight, and a couple of those nights have been with Mace.
He's a lunatic,
so he struggles to put a word together at the best of times, let alone under pressure. So that ended up being a pretty funny story from the trip.
Oh, mate, that was hilarious.
But I've been loving it, mate.
It's been good.
Liverpool's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a great spot. Thank you to St Helens for letting us. We're doing a function here. We're doing a bit of a charity thing later on.
Yeah.
Getting a few jerseys sorted. And in your time, I know you only had a limited time here in the Super League. Can you remember playing at this stadium?
Yeah, I did.
It's a good stadium.
Yeah, it's massive. We played when I was with Hull. I think it was James Graham that were here. Yeah, they flogged us massively. Yeah. Very good team. Good. They've always been pretty strong, top four. They've won them a couple of times. But, I did get to play here. It was good.
Yeah. I feel
Did we play for the Catalans? I think so.
We did. We definitely did.
Did we?
I'll have a look. You know what? Very rarely do we look up our own rugby league project to look at our own stats. But actually, I'll do yours because that'll be easier. Because you only played less games. Let's get Mace up.
24 games.
So Mace, let's go straight down the bottom. We've got Super League, Bulldogs, shitload of Bulldogs. Whole KR, so you played 16 for Catalans. We played... No, you didn't play St Helens. You didn't play St Helens. No. Yeah. Look at that. Catalans vs Batley, 40-4.
Good old Batley.
The Batley Bulldogs Challenge Cup. Oh, yeah, Hull FC Challenge Cup. Yeah, so...
it's a good ground, bud.
Yeah, good ground. A really good ground, but... and we'll get to it with regards to the actual breakdown of the Ashes game too.
Yeah.
What a stadium Hill Dickinson is in Liverpool, Everton Football Club's home ground.
That's one of the best stadiums I've been at.
It's so cool, mate.
That'd be a good, if that was built in Australia.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a Suncorp. It's really high like that.
Yep.
The atmosphere was unreal, wasn't it?
It just keeps going straight up too, though, right? And then sort of hooks around.
They really got stuck in, The Pommies had a crack, but the crowd was really into it. Reece Walsh, every time he got the ball, they booed him. Every time they tackled him, they booed him. They were singing their songs. They were right into it. It was a great atmosphere. I loved it.
On reflection, after being at Wembley, I think just the occasion and understanding the history and how cool the stadium was, being in London, that was cool for us.
Yeah.
But actually attending the game at Everton's home ground in Liverpool and seeing Wigan and talking to Wigan fans, talking to St Helens fans, talking to Warrington fans, talking to Widnes fans throughout the week.
Yeah.
They were telling us in the lead up, they said, this is going to be a different atmosphere. This is going to be a different feeling.
Oh.
And it lived up to it.
Yeah. That was one of the best tests I've been to, atmosphere-wise.
Yeah.
They didn't stop. Imagine if they had won.
Yeah. Yeah, they were getting the crowd into it, even with some of the songs beforehand.
Even before the game, like on the pubs were packed, and everyone like around the street was mayhem. It was great.
The big story, I guess, outside of the result was Big Jarvo, the pitch invader.
How does he fucking do that?
He's smart. Like there's the joke aside to it, which is funny, and I find it really entertaining. Me and Lukey were standing there, and you're on the left of Lukey, and I originally when he popped up, I didn't know it was Jarvo, but I was like, who's that guy standing with Munster? And I assumed, like Munster, like Money said, it was a corporate guy and someone paid a shitload of money, and I thought there might be one for Australia and one for England, but I didn't see their lineup. And then as the game's unfolding and you start looking at social media, you see that he's done it again. What do you reckon tactically, what do you reckon he does to execute it at such a high level all the time?
He must be smart. The planning that must go into that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, because he looked a part of the team. Like, when you look at it on TV and you're like, the fuck is that?
He was trying to get in between Money and Paddy Carrigan. You can see him. Someone showed the second shot.
I didn't know what was going on.
Did you see the second video where it was maybe, I think it might have been a member of the Australian team, just had it on Money and Paddy, and he looked at Money and he's pointing and he's going like this, like move aside, and Money's like, no, fuck it.
He's got some balls.
Yeah.
Because Lukey just showed me everything that he's done. Like he ran off for Sri Lanka.
So good.
Cricket team. It's just coming out like that. Oh, good on him.
I think he's still currently held up now. I think there was a tweet or something that I sent on social media. So this for us.
Let him go.
This is going to drop for you guys back probably Tuesday morning. It's Monday lunchtime over here. And I guess the thing, like the serious side of it is, fuck, that's a worry that he continually gets on with ease. Like if you were to do something stupid and you're not doing it for a prank, I'd imagine he must buy premier tickets every time. The time to go, if you are going to go, I was thinking about it, right? Everyone must drop the shoulders once the players start walking out.
Yeah.
Because then all the attention, it's like an illusion. It's like a magic trick, right?
Yeah.
What are they trying to get you? They're trying to focus on one thing by doing something else on the side or presenting something else on the side. So he just must wait for all the security guards to start looking at the players as they're coming out. They, line up and they start to sing the national anthem. And then he just
the anthem.
Stroll out with confidence,
It's that little moment, right, when you're walking out and everyone's just concentrating on the players. And then where does he come from?
Yeah. He must
Where does he hide?
I reckon
how does he get down there?
I think he gets tickets directly behind where the play. He must get players' families' tickets, the ones that sit right behind the bench. He has to.
Yeah.
It'd be too hard to come all the way from, say, the tunnel on the opposite side or from across.
Yeah.
If you started walking across the pitch from the other side, I think he has to time it and come out with the players as they're walking out. But
he's a fucking genius.
He's a genius. I'll tell you who else is a genius. Your OG bull for the game as well. Our man, Cam Money Munster.
What a freak. I mean, speculation on that try. Do you think it was a try?
Well, so...
Looking at it naked eye, I thought it was a try.
Yeah.
Then if you slow it down and like all that kind of shit, I'm like, oh yeah. Crichton ran through, but he ran through the line. But he ran behind him.
So people might have a different view back home because we haven't watched the replay
I thought it was a try.
We haven't heard the commentary. So when Money drops someone underneath, and I think he runs behind Angus Crichton, I'd assumed, when they do that back in the NRL, if you run around someone, then you just hit the deck straight away and then it stops the obstruction. I just thought that's black and white.
Yeah, same.
So I was confused that I went all the way through to that bit, but then I thought the grounding was fine as well.
Yeah, the grounding was fine.
He was sliding over the line.
Yeah.
Money racked up, 15 carries for 141 metres, 54 post contact, a line break assist, 4 tackle breaks. We always said...
That's massive. 140 metres.
We always said that his style of play was going to suit playing over here. Yeah. With the style of footy that the Poms are playing. And
with Nathan Cleary there.
He's lived up. Up. Yeah, Nafe's been fairly quiet, to be honest. But he's just been making sure he can get Money and Walshy into positions where they can thrive.
And Walshy was pretty quiet. They handled him pretty well around the back. But that's the difference between, the English side, right? You can wrap all those guys up. So just say if you take care of Reece Walsh and Cleary, Munster's going to have a good game. You know, you can't control all these gun players. You know, Harry Grant has a great game. One of the middles have, you know, I thought Angus Crichton had a great game. You know, so you can't control any of them, or all of them. You know what I mean? So one of them's going to have a breakout game, and it was money this time.
In hindsight, like, you know, having a beer with him after the game on Saturday down in London, and seeing the calibre of player that wasn't playing as well. Like, you got Dylan just sitting there. You got Mitchy Moses, Strange, Blake Brayley. All four of those guys, in my opinion, they could be a chance to play this week. What would you do?
I don't know.
What would you want to do if you were those start? Do you want to finish a sweep if you are Willie Mason?
I do. I do.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a hard decision for Kevy.
Yeah.
Because, you want, Cleary has been playing outstanding, and he wants to play as many tests as they can. Most of these guys, Munster.
They've also played a lot of footy, Mace.
Yeah, but it's a test.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's the last game of the year.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. But you've got through. You've done this job. And if you get a chance to rest, and there's no threat of injury, all that kind of stuff. Like if Kevy makes those decisions, I think most of them will just be like, "Oh, that's sweet."
Yeah.
Because I think Mitch Moses deserves a test.
Yeah. Like
same as like Ethan Strange.
Yeah.
Money. And I don't think these players would mind.
Yeah, those guys being on tour as well, like it's been a big couple of weeks for the boys as well. Like it'd be awesome for them to get the opportunity to play over here. Like, you could see it going both ways, couldn't you? Maybe out of the four key positions, maybe Walshy hasn't played as much footy compared to the others in the last 3 or 4 years. Like he has played Origin, but he didn't play this year. He missed some time for the Broncos. He went on an unbelievable
Plus, he's only played
run.
2 tests.
Yeah.
Like he wants to finish off and play 3 and sweep them.
Yep.
So it'll be hard to put Dylan Neville in.
Yeah, we'll talk about actually, because I want to talk about, we'll break the game down a little bit further, and I want to talk about the dimensions of the game, which for sure factored into the score and the style of play, the weather conditions. We'll talk about the refereeing and break that all down. But I want to go to Scope's young buck, and I'm going to flip it over to the Pac Nations game. He was unbelievable. Keanu Kinney goes to fullback with the Ronaldo Mulatalo injury. Chance Nickel-Klogstad went to the centres. Casey McLean went out to the wing. But I'm just blown away by the young talent of a couple of guys for the Kiwis. But Keanu Kinney, where is he? All the way down in jersey number 20. A try, 23 carries, 199 metres, 36 post-contact, 2 line break assists, 3 tackle breaks. And I guess I was listening to the commentary of it as well. And for sure, the comp makes sense because they're both young, good-looking fullbacks in the Queensland area. And, Keanu Kinney bounces around a little bit like Walshy. But, I think the Kiwis and the Gold Coast Titans have really got one.
Yeah, he's got to be the fullback there. Like he killed it yesterday. Yeah. He's an absolute freak. And he does bounce around like Walshy.
He does.
Like he sits around the ruck, and he gets out the back. He does everything that Reece Walsh does. So he's a freak. We'll get to that game, but that was embarrassing.
Yeah,
like some of those tries, and the line breaks,
the missed tackles,
Nafahu White just boom, 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 coming off his right and just like breaking through tackles. Like that's not test level Tongan, Matimar Tonga fucking level of play.
Yeah.
It was disappointing to watch it. It was fucking quite embarrassing.
Well, let's go into a huge fact of being careful about where the situation is at the moment. And there's been a lot of chat about it back home. And I want to make it clear as well. We're over here, so we're seeing mixed reports, mixed reports. We're seeing reports and commentary on it. But I was just... This is even before... So when I'd woke up, the first thing that I had seen about the Tongan versus Kiwi game was the highlight of Lehigh Hopewadi knocking Ali Katoa out in warm-up, and I thought to myself,
how did they play him?
I assume. So here's my first. So I wake up, I see Ali Katoa and Lehigh Hopewadi colliding. I see the scoreline, and then I go on and watch the game over here, and I was shocked and blown away that Ali Katoa had actually, because the scoreline was so big, I just assumed Ali didn't play, right?
Yes.
Because, he's such a key part of their team and just such a really good back row. I was like, sort of make a late change. That's why the Kiwis are blowing him out.
How the fuck did they let him play? Whose call was this? Now he got hit again. He's got bleeding on the brain, apparently. Like, that is awful. Someone needs to cop this.
I think someone will, mate. And it's
One
one of those.
the doctors, the Tongan doctor.
I don't look again. We're over here. I'm sure there's more information for people back home that are aware of what the situation it is. But for sure, the duty of care for Ali Katoa.
It was
Tonga, I know he is your premier star player, and this was a do or die game.
I don't care.
But player welfare must come. Like he was
stiff.
Yeah.
Like he was knocked out. Like you.
And
if that was on the field, that's a Category 1.
Category 1, easy.
Right? And then he gets back on, has to play against a ferocious fucking New Zealand team. Head collision again.
He played 55 minutes too.
Bleeding of the
60.
brain.
Yeah.
Like someone's got to pay for this. It's fucking embarrassing.
Oh.
Player welfare, all that kind of stuff, mate. Someone's got to go down for this.
Yeah. Well, I've seen there's some comments, and I've maybe got to watch the presses back to see what sort of Wolfie said, and apparently he was cleared from the doctor, so it's going to be for sure, Mace. No, 100%. I think either a doctor, a trainer, could pay the price for allowing Ali to play the game, and then I think he copped another one throughout the game as well. I remember watching the try. So it happened just before the try when. Not Casey. Who scored the try? To refresh my memory, it would have been Chance Nickel-Klogstad try.
On the right side.
I think there was a bump through the middle. I think Nafahu drops the bumpers into him, and then that's when he sort of gets laid out. So that's 50 minutes into the game as well. And then as the game's unfolding, it kept on crossing back to him. And I was, because we'd seen all the news and it was unfolding probably 6 or 7 hours delayed from when the game had happened. I actually seen what I felt like I'd seen him say to the doctor. He goes like, just before they got the Medicab and they didn't show it through the coverage, he's like, I'm fucked. I think it looked like he said, I'm fucked, like I'm in a bad way. So, for sure, something needs, I think someone will pay the price for this as well. I hope the longevity of Ali Katoa's not only playing career, thoughts and prayers go to Ali and his family. Yes. I know there was a message that they put out. I think it might have been from the Tongan team around the health of Ali. Hopefully he gets out of this. Hopefully he makes a full recovery. I know Melbourne Storm have done a great job with looking after Will Warbrick throughout the year, and also Big Nelson had some issues as well. So he's at the perfect club to make sure he gets all the necessary medical requirements that are due. But
that's a bad one.
As an ex-player,
I
and I don't think you even have to be an ex-player. It sort of makes you, it feels sick. It makes you feel
because it wasn't just like in some warm-ups, like I've been rattled a couple of times,
Yeah, so have I.
And you're like, oh shit, but not like that.
No, that was clean.
That's just like, you're not playing.
Yeah.
And they let him play again, like against the Kiwis. Like, I'm dumbfounded.
Yeah, so we'll get into the game a little bit later on. We're only going to break down the 2 games just because we're trying to get this up with some of the biggest news. Just some of the main points rather than dropping it 2 or 3 days late. But let's get into the Pac Champs as well. Australia 14 defeat the Poms 6. That's it. That wraps it up, Mace.
Yeah.
You were very critical of the forwards' performance for the Poms in Game 1.
Yep.
Do you think they rectified that in Game 2?
I think so. They turned up. It wasn't like they didn't do any damage or anything to our forwards, but like they stood up. They had a decent crack.
I think the physicality was noticeable from the start too. Like, for those who were watching it on TV, there was a lot of criticism in and around the style of footy, the errors and all that sort of stuff. I'm telling you right now, even though it was a great stadium to watch sport at, the dimensions of the field definitely played into both teams making a lot of errors.
Yeah.
That you how many times throughout the game were you like, fuck, where's Walshy? Walshy's not getting involved. And it's like, there's no space. Every time they shift out the back, both teams were able to slide really easily because it went like, it was like the 50-metre line, and then it was a genuine 10 metres from the 50 to the 40.
Yeah, it was a weird set out, wasn't it?
And then from what should have been the 40 to the 30 was like a 40 to 46, 44.
Yeah.
There was a really short space between the 40 and 30, and then again in the in-goal line. So it really led to a confrontational through the middle sort of game.
And it looked easy for Australia to defend all their shape.
Yep.
Like, all they did was, like, out the back block, block. It was just easy. Like, you can't do that to the Australian defence.
Well, even with Australia, like even with England though, like Money was the only try that was scored, and that was controversial with going around behind Angus Crichton. The other try was Hudson Young off a kick. Remember, it was like a tap back from a kick. So it was problematic for both teams to play with some width. It's going to be better at Headingley for Game 3 as well. Remember, going into Game 2, I had my concerns about it being a football pitch and comparing it to Old Trafford. It did feel like that, watching the Super League Grand Final where it was always going to be... I want to give a shout-out because, I opened up with the question. I thought these two guys were, in particular, really good with the physicality and trying to at least set the tone for the Poms. Morgan Knowles from St Helens, who's going to be playing for the Dolphins
he'll be good.
year.
He'll be a good player.
And you were liking the performance of Matty Lees as well.
Yeah. They ripped in. They ripped into our pack, but it just, I don't know. Like, as I said before, like they can always handle our pack, but it's like, it just wasn't physical enough. Like, I don't know.
Do you feel like, I guess maybe for you as well, and this will go back to the teams and the players that we've talked about, you don't necessarily have to have an NRL player of note playing, but when we've had, say, Sam Burgess and James Graham in the previous encounters, and then going back to your time, you had Moz, Adrian Morley, who was over here, but you were so much more aware of the names like O'Loughlin and some of the names that you mentioned before. Do you think they're sort of missing that? Like the physicality physicality was good to begin with, but then this time they didn't have the class in the outside backs to turn some of those opportunities into points.
Because our forward pack is decent, but, it's not ferocious or anything like that. There's no, like, massive hitter apart from probably Tino. Like, he's probably our biggest hitter. Harry Grant's a good defender. They're all good, like, great defenders.
Yeah.
They're not massive hitters because you don't have to be a massive hitter anymore.
The game's changed,
yeah, exactly. Like, it's like, you just got to be a really good defender. And they're all gun defenders. Gun defenders from 1 to 17. They work so hard under the ball. That's why, like England couldn't find any space at all. Like, they had to start hitting straight lines, like their back rowers. Like, I think, was it Callum Watkins? I thought he played outstanding.
Yeah, so shout out to Callum Watkins too, because we had
he looked the most dangerous.
We had a lot of messages in. So I'm across more Super League stuff than what Mace is, but I haven't watched a shitload of Leeds recently as well. So if I go on and watch some Super League back home in Australia, it's at a tough time. So if I see Wakefield that are playing, I like to watch some of my ex-teammates. Hull KR, I've watched them with over the years, but I haven't seen much of Leeds, and I didn't realise Callum Watkins had made the full-time switch into the back row. He was good.
He was great.
Yep.
Thought, was it Kai Pearce-Paul? They handled him pretty good.
Good shot on, who did he smoke someone earlier? I think he got Angus Crichton.
Yeah, that was a fucking pearler.
Got Angus Crichton early on. But yeah, it was a bit of a scrappy game as well. I'll go over to the Australian team because people were getting on the Poms about 2 penalty goals not scoring. Australia got a couple of tries, but it was a stop-start game, wasn't it? And look at the most meters. Here we go. So we're looking down here for Australia. You've got 141 for Gus and Money, 132 for is it Hudson Young?
What about our props?
Look at the outside backs and stuff though. You know how the back five they normally get it, mate. It was slippery conditions. It was a smaller field. There wasn't much joy to be had at all really in the game.
How many metres did Lindsay Collins make?
Only played 20 minutes. He must have played the first 22. Yeah, he only played the first 22 minutes, and then Rubes come on. So Rubes ran for 110 minutes. Basically, when Rubes come on, he must have had 2 stints. 43 minutes, and then he had the final 9 minutes. Like the game...
It was a weird game, wasn't
it? The game as a whole is moving towards those sort of smaller, nuggetier... Like there is still going to be a place for a guy like Lindsay Collins to lay the platform and bigger bodies like Lindsay Smith. But if you're not like Lindsay Smith with a bit of an offload and a passing game now, it's... Mate, Ruben Cotter, Paddy Carrigan's not huge. Angus is... They're
nuggets. Not nuggets. They're like, what, probably 6 foot, 102, 3 kilos, ripped, fast, strong.
Keon off the bench
fit.
as well. He ended up playing 30. Tommy did and basically played lock.
Yeah, because gets on and runs.
He was on the same time Harry, Nathan, and Money were all on. So he was playing in the lock position. Really for the final 32 minutes, and it just shows you the sort of style of play that's just common in the game now. So
it's just ruck speed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like generating speed in the ruck. Just one person's got to get one quick play of the ball, and then it just goes. And that's what didn't happen. The play the balls were sometimes pretty slow, so we couldn't really get that much momentum.
Yeah.
But neither could the Poms.
How did you find a lot of the commentary, and people have been messaging me about the officiating from Grant Atkins compared to Liam Moore the week
It's like they swapped.
They're completely different styles, aren't they?
Yeah, but it's like the English one down in Wembley.
Yeah.
Give the Poms nothing, and then Atkins comes up and gives them everything.
Yeah.
Like sends some of our boys off, and it's just like gives a penalty straight away. I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, that was always because that's. I guess maybe he wanted to set the tone too for how bad it was the week before.
Yeah.
And that's why, in comparison, it looks like a completely different a game officiating. So if you have watched Super League, so let's go. Look at this. So 15 errors for the Aussies as well, 11 for the Poms. Penalties conceded 9-6. Ruck infringements 4-3 in favour of the Poms. 2 players were sin bin for Aussie. So if there was this is a scrappy game that England needed, and they still weren't able to get the job done.
Yeah, exactly.
Did anyone else stand out for you from the Poms that you like? What do you think of Brimo's performance? 15 carries for 123 metres.
He just did his job, right? It
Just really couldn't get engaged
no,
again,
he couldn't.
could he?
No. Dom Young played good.
Yep.
Before he got injured. Herbie.
Carrying the ball strong.
Yeah. Their back 5 was good.
Tommy, 18.
Fucking run hard.
Mate, Tommy had 18 for 144 again. He got some really bad pill right at the back end of some of the sets. Like he had 4 errors. 3 of those he could do nothing about them as well.
Yeah.
Did you see much difference in George Williams and Harry Smith compared to Mikey Lewis, who got dropped to the bench in this game?
Yeah, I thought that the Harry Smith guy, like he's a game manager, right? Kicks good, he'll get you into space and everything like that, but he doesn't engage the line. So whenever he's near, when they were in attack mode, like our A's and markers pressured him massively, made him pass the ball. So that's the key in all defences, like pressure the halfback and make him play early, and then like that's why we get up and just work under the ball and slide, and then that's why they end up getting tackled.
You know,
easy.
we were talking about it through the game. You know who my comp for Harry Smith is, and you've got to have some class around him.
Yeah.
Adam Reynolds for the Broncos, where he is going to get you around the pitch. He's going to kick at a really high level. He's going to even kick goals like Reynolds does. He, sort of going to be dink and dunk, and you've got to be able to execute at least making sure guys like George Williams, AJ Brimson got in a position like Adam Reynolds does for Reece Walsh and Ezra Mam, and make sure they get in good positions. But
they just don't have that danger.
They don't have it.
No.
They didn't have it in this game. Hopefully, the dynamics of the field at Headingley are going to be a little bit more
favourable.
Morgan Smithies was good off the bench.
Yeah, he was good.
Getting amongst it as well. Looked like he, felt like he was almost getting in a fight nearly every
time,
every stoppage. And
they all had a crack. It was just like we scored. That Money's try was controversial, and the other one was just like Huddy Young who batted it back? Marky Mark.
I think it would have been the right side, which would have been Mark.
Yeah. Yep. And then he gets that and scores in the corner, and that's it. And then a couple of goals. So it was pretty close.
Herbie, again, just not many limited opportunities. It's like looking at both teams and trying to summarise. Like look at Katoni's stats: 10 for a 76. He just wasn't able.
He fucking ripped in, but
the tough carries, but just no quality ball.
Yep.
Fucking Shibasaki 6 for 66, no quality ball.
Yep.
All their carries were just yardage and coming off the wings. And
it was a tough game.
It was a tough physical game, and that's it for the series, but can't wait to get over to Headingley. Let's go and flip it over to the Pac Champs. This was one-way running right from the start. Tonga had a lot of possession early on in this game for the first sort of 10 to 15 minutes. But as soon as Keanu Kinney went down that short side, put Casey McLean away, and then Casey links back up with Keanu, those two for the Kiwis are going to be absolute pillars for us moving forward.
Yep.
I'm looking at, these are the names that I'm really excited about moving forward for the Kiwis. And I know there are going to be other players, like you've got your stalwarts that are going to lead the physicality and lead the Mano and James Fisher-Harris and our man Taps and Britton Nikita played a good game as well. But the three names I'm super excited about, Keanu Kinney, and the ever-versatile Charles Nickel-Klogstad, who can go from a fullback position and play at a high level in the centres for us. And I think he even shifted out to the wing there at the end. But it's Keanu Kinney, Casey McLean, and Xavier Willison.
Yeah, he's a problem. He's going to be a problem next year. I reckon he's going to realise how big and strong he is.
No, he's realised now.
Yeah.
This year he's realised.
Yeah.
I reckon this since he come back for his second stint, you're right, Mace. The period when Payne missed some time and he went into a starter.
Yep.
This time, leading into the finals and then also into his first debut test match, he has now realised, I think he's realised how much of an alpha he can be.
He
like
is.
What he can be because
he's that guy. Dylan Brown was fucking outstanding.
Yeah.
Like outstanding. Casey McLean, what a fucking machine.
Let's stay on Dylan Brown because, again, I want to talk about him again. Now, I think people are starting to realise who Dylan Brown is.
Yeah.
I think people forgot about who Dylan Brown is. And to see him have the joy that he's having at the back end, I had a nice little exchange with our man. Let's give him a proper shout out. With Dylan Brown too, and this is what I found funny over the last couple of days. Now, he's got to go up against Samoa, right? They're playing in the finals, so he's still got to get the job done in the finals. But I found it funny, and a good friend of ours, Joey, who used to work at G-Dub, he's now got his own sort of anti-social marketing / poly-wide media, where he's been going and he's trying to create attention to Polynesians all around the world and good friends of him. And he posted the results at the end of the game, and then he had the Samoan flag next to all the players that were Samoan heritage.
Yeah.
And he had one next to Dylan Brown, and I sent him a message, and I said, hey, nah, chill out. No. I said, chill out on Dylan Brown for all the Samoan fans because we have a whole heap of Polynesians that message me all the time with the best Samoan teams in preparation for the World Cup. No one had Dylan Brown in their team this year when he was getting dropped from Parramatta.
No.
Now that he's gone out and absolutely blitzed it for the Kiwis in the last two tests, I go to him, hey, bro, no one had him in their Samoan team at the start of the season when he got dropped from the Eels. And Joey goes, that's facts. That's facts. But now all the Samoans are like, oh, yeah, he's got Samoan heritage again.
Yeah, he's not playing. He's not playing.
Where was that energy throughout the year when you're naming your teams? And don't get me wrong.
They were bagging the shit out of him.
I know you've got a good lineup. I know you're very happy with the way Blaze Talangi and Jerome Luai looked in game 2. But I love how it's for years they were, Dylan Brown Samoan. And then this year when he goes through a rough year, it's sort of just quiet down a little bit.
Yeah.
Quiet down. But Mace, he's got them talking again because he has been unbelievable in the first two tests.
I think people underestimate how big and strong he is.
Yeah.
Like he's about what, like 6'1"?
6'1"? Genuine 6'1", not Rennie 6'1". Genuine 6'1".
What, 96 kilo? Strong as hell?
Yep.
Yeah, he's outstanding.
You know what, Sue?
Carved.
And again, it's similar. Like they're all fucking good humans, and even Keanu had the opportunity to chat to Keanu Kinney a couple of times this year at the start of the year for the New Zealand Māori versus Indigenous at the start of the year, and then I met him again later in the year at Fozzie's retirement gig.
Yep.
Just good humans. Like Dill's going to be around for a minute too, man.
Yeah.
Dill's been around for 10 years.
He's going to be around,
and he's only fucking 25 or 26.
He's going to be around for another 10.
Like Dill is a fucking quality number 6.
Yeah.
And I think people forgot a bit about him, but like he's that dude.
Yeah.
He's a top 3 at his position
Easily.
when he's flowing. So,
what about poor old Fozzie? That wasn't a forward pass.
Oh,
I didn't know he's only scored 1 test try.
Yeah, because he's a good try scorer at club level.
Yeah. But that wasn't forward. That was a bad call. You deserve that one, Fozzie.
Yeah, hopefully he can get one in the final for the Foz. I'd say, you know my favourite, and I was only able to do a few notes in preparation for this show because we wanted to sort of get it up a little bit quicker and give our thoughts straight away without putting as much down.
Yeah.
But it was like the Look, and he's only played 66 minutes, so it must have been 2 or 3 minutes that they got him off after this. Big Jason Tomalolo gets the bumper bars up at him, straight into his chest. He knocked Foz back about
6 meters.
6 meters. And then the next carry, they identified that Fozzie, was struggling a little bit from the hit. And I think Isaiah Yongi tried to send Kulikefi Fene Fuiaki straight at him. And Foz just goes, bang, and holds his ground.
He's a tough brick, mate.
The old bull's still got plenty of juice left in it for this final game. Who's been really good as well? And now this is, for me anyway, this has clarified that fucking Matty Timokol wasn't the problem with the right edge at Canberra.
Nah.
All those issues that Canberra were having.
It was a 7.
Matty's been fine since he's been playing for the Kiwis, and he's been playing next to. I'm trying to think. Has Fozzie been on the right?
Seno as well.
So
he's winger.
Yeah, Matty Timokol's played at a really high level, and he would have been a guy. Even though they had a really good season at Canberra, they had so many defensive issues there at Canberra at the back end. I'm watching him defend now in this Kiwi team, and he's got Jermaine Asako outside him, and he's doing a solid job. And I think...
Is it Dylan Brown on the right?
I think Fozzie's playing right.
Foz.
I think Fozzie's playing right to allow Dylan...
And he's a good communicator in defence.
Yeah, so shout out to Matty Timokol. I was critical of him at the back end of the season, but he's showing now that whatever the right edge issues are, he may play his part, but he's not the issue there because he's been defending really well in these pack champs. Casey McLean, we've talked a little bit about him. I don't know if you've seen the Jason Tomalolo went straight into Moses Leota. Have you seen that contact yet?
No.
I'll show you it.
Oh, God.
Watch this.
Oh, shot.
Watch this. Ready? It looks like he goes, hello. As he's chasing him away.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's like, come back at me.
That's as clean anyone's ever going to get, Jay.
Yeah. And look at him.
And he still didn't hit the deck.
Yeah.
Hello.
I love that. What contact. Fuck, he can hit Leota.
That shows how powerful both those two human beings are. Because if anyone else runs at Moses Leota like that, they get flattened.
On your back.
And if Jace runs at anyone else like that as a defender, they are on the deck. And I think he maybe got a slight little assist from Nafar, who was just behind him to hold him up. But he wasn't going to drop. No way for sure. So the physicality, and I think it was good to see Jace playing again for the Tongan team. But they were off the mark, and they've missed the mark in this series now. They've been blown out by Samoa and Tonga.
I wonder why.
Well, so let's look at the lineups. And you mentioned this leading into it, about the players and the lack of footy leading into the series. So Lehigh and Tolikola, who didn't end up playing in this game, didn't make the finals. We talked about it at length. So if you've seen the old episode, we talked about all the players that hadn't played meaningful footy. And I think the main two that are going to get a lot better with time, and they're going to need some time, and they've got huge potential.
Yeah.
Lehigh, Isaiah Yongi, and Isaiah Katoa.
Yeah.
They are probably at least still a year away, even though we think they are talented at NRL level. They need to get the reps together for Tonga and figure out that combination, because
they look bad, mate.
We all froth Isaiah Katoa. Isaiah Yongi, it's understandable because he's playing out of position, but I think he's got the ability to play 6. He's just got to get the reps and
he's never going to do that because he's going to play fullback.
He's going to play fullback. Yep.
So I don't think he's the answer. Who do you reckon is?
Yeah, it's a tough one. We've talked about. I'm just trying to think, and maybe if you're a Tongan fan, you'd let us know. I think you can do it. I think a player like Isaiah Yongi can play at 6.
If he was playing 6 every week for Para, he'd be a gun.
Yep.
But he's not.
But I think 6 and fullback, and I've said it a lot, they're very similar in the way. The big difference is, I guess, the communication and the work rate that you do defensively. Yeah. That's the big difference.
Because they got schooled out wide.
Yeah.
Absolutely schooled on the edges, everywhere. It's just I don't know what's wrong with them, honestly. The forward packs got dominated in both games.
Yeah.
Which is they never get dominated. I think it's very disappointing anyway.
Yeah, it is. It has been a really disappointing campaign because,
everyone probably expected Tonga to win.
Not expected Tonga to win.
To just be better.
For sure they were going to be better, but because of the rise of Tonga going back to 2017, I feel like they've become everyone's second friend. Here's my thing with it, and we've got to call it like we see it, right? Yeah. Everyone's fucking getting into the Poms for losing to the Aussie, but the fashion in which Tonga have lost to both New Zealand and Samoa is super disappointing.
Flogging.
Super disappointing, right? And they've got high expectations. I love Wolfie as a coach. I love Isaiah Katoa as an upcoming half. You're right. He probably could use a little bit of help with more weekend, like even Lehigh. Lehigh doesn't play fullback every week, even though we know he can play at a high level.
Yeah.
He's got Tommy at club level, so he doesn't play fullback week in, week out. Isaiah Yongi was unbelievable at fullback this year, but he played 6, I think, only in one game this year when he swapped with Josh Papali.
Sione Katoa played centre?
No, he didn't,
No?
No. They had Will Penasini played in the centres.
Okay.
Will Penasini played centres. Paul Alamotti. They had a late swap with Tolucola. Remember I told you Tolucola wasn't right in the first game?
Yeah.
He was a late change for this game as well. But the biggest issue for them, no doubt, moving forward is Saliva Vili. He can hit like a truck. His service...
He's a 14.
His service is just not up to NRL quality week in, week out. Again, love Saliva as a first grader. Love him to change a pace. A perfect 14 in the NRL, and he's done it at a high level for a while. And Sonny Luke, he had the creativity, but defensively
he's a liability.
He struggles to make big one-on-ones. He was the player
that's where they'll go
straight through.
Yep.
And they look to him as skillful as he is. He's just such a small body, and it doesn't look like he's going to get any bigger.
Especially against like New Zealand and Samoa.
They really picked him out.
Yep.
And then once you pick out players like Sonny Luke with size, and even Saliva doesn't have the movements for a hooker as well. That
you run straight at him, he's going to pump you.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of footwork, and it's just a legs tackle. But just that whole side, they would be so disappointed, like more disappointed than all the fans and everything.
Well,
even the fans, like they're turning up the Red Sea and everything like that. The atmosphere out there. And they dish this shit up.
Yep.
You'd be so disappointed. The fans would have been so disappointed. Obviously, the players are as well. But they come to those games fully pumped up, and to get beat like that, they were never in the game.
No,
it was 24-0 after
not half time was done.
Do you know what I mean? It was done. So it's very disappointing for the Tongan team, the fans, everyone. Even I'm disappointed.
Shout out to the fans as well.
Yeah,
they were singing all the way to the end.
Yeah.
They turned up. Look, and we didn't really talk about it much, but I seen some commentary around the first game where there was booing from it seemed to be from the Samoan fans during the anthem and all that sort of stuff, which it is what it is. If people, pay their money to turn up to games, they can do what they want.
Yeah.
But I did think there was such a better level of respect from the Kiwi and Tongan fans at Eden Park. And the energy looked awesome. It looked like, even though there was a sea of red, it looked like the Kiwi fans really turned up. They were energetic. Mate, before the game, the national anthems, and I haven't got goosebumps over a national anthem and hugger, pardon me, and the lead up and the war dances in a while. And
I
always
do.
I enjoyed all of it. So, credit to everyone who turned up to Eden Park. They packed it out. 38,000 at Eden Park the weather was awesome too.
Yeah.
It was a great day. So credit to the Tongan fans, they turned up. And now the decider will be heading back to Combank Stadium.
Okay.
Parramatta. That's where it'll be. The final will be the Kiwis versus Samoa.
That'd be a good game.
That's it for this episode. We will see you for the preview later in the week. We will be in Leeds by that time, boys. So can't wait. One game to go over here, and
Australia's going to sweep.
Hopefully, I'll save my prediction for Thursday.